Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Prosperity and Health Alliance Monday night webinar. Apologize for being a couple minutes late. We're just taking care of some technical difficulties in the back office. We're super happy to have you on board. This being January, what's the day? January 23rd, 2017, getting off to a great start. I'm joined tonight with my fellow co-host, Siha Top. Siha, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, Creel. Hello, everybody. I am doing absolutely amazing. Hello, Kimberly in the back there. Just can't wait for the show here, just to get everybody on track for 2017 and, catch up with you as well. So back to you, Creel.
Awesome. Siha has been on the road. He's been working with his forces, and we're going to bring him in and kind of get a little bit of an interview and hear, his daily method of operation, all-out massive action, what that looks like working with the leaders, so stay tuned. I'm going to give a little overview for those that were fortunate enough to join us last Friday night for the 10th anniversary party of Enagic in Canada. It was quite an event, sold out, about 350 people, celebration of being 10 years in Canada. There were some great speeches, a whole bunch of people from the corporate side came in. Mr. Oshira had a recorded thank you message given to the crowd. So I just want to take you through some of the key highlights for myself. There were some new products and so forth. It was really nice to see because there was a historical part to this of when Enagic first opened, and 10 years ago, small little office, few distributors. And some people got involved, and the office continued to grow. They moved into a new location, which was in Richmond. The office continues to grow, and now they move into a bigger location in Burnaby. And so we got to track, as the team grows on the Enagic side, starting with 3 people in the office to now a staff of probably 15 to 17 people. And it's really a representation of the excellent work that the leaders in Vancouver have done, and also the influence that we're having on a global marketplace, being really a global metropolitan city. So it felt so good to be in the room with success and good things happening. And what I've realized, the people that have stuck with it continue to have growing businesses. One of the definite highlights for me was it was seeing like the who's who of Vancouver Enagic Canada, and there were some faces that I hadn't seen in years that came out to celebrate, and people being very excited, being very grateful of this opportunity and what it's meant to us, and also realizing that we're just getting started. They had some statistics that got presented of the sales volume that we've done in Canada. And it's unbelievable that the company has sold less than 30,000 units in all of Canada. And we have multi-million-dollar, earnings, and people with multiple six-figure earnings, lifestyles, people having fantastic businesses here. And we've got less than 30,000 units sold in Canada, which really showed us all that we're just actually getting started. So for people that feel like they've missed the boat, you don't miss the boat with Enagic at this point. There's no way, because of the technology and its impact in a global setting, but also here in Canada. Every year that water quality diminishes, people are looking for solutions. And we come along with a sophisticated technology, as we all know, that is really able to provide a lot more than just excellent drinking water. And so I really felt proud and felt exciting for myself and the leaders at my table and the people I talked to, that there was a real optimism of what the future holds for us. We also had some great leaders come in from the States and from Japan, some of the corporate team, presenting and giving their thanks. So I really feel like they were very inspired and very grateful for all the efforts that have been done and for the excellent work on behalf of the staff. And I just want to say here, we have all been there where we go through some challenges working with the Enagic staff, whether you're calling Vancouver office, Toronto office, Malaysia office, Houston office, LA office. The company's busy, and the company's a traditional Japanese company, so generally they hire Japanese people first. And so there's language barriers, there's business, different ways of doing business. And the greatest thing we can do is just be patient, because these people are really working on behalf of us, and to get to know them as people rather than just an order taker. And I think forming those relationships really brings the heart of Enagic into this. And we've got such a great staff here in the Vancouver area. So I think we all just want to continue to be really supportive, very polite, very professional when we speak to them, because they really do have our backs. And the office continues to grow, and I think we're going to see excellent service as a result of the expansion. And so it was excellent to have that recognition for the office place. Enagic also released a brand new product. And we've been hearing about this for a little while, that the Enagic has been wanting to get more into the agricultural aspects of what the water can do and its growing capacities or capabilities. And so they've been planting organic rice using the 2.5 and the 11.5 for both disinfecting and for the planting and irrigation, and then also for spraying 2.5 rather than using any pesticides to keep the crops healthy, organic, thriving. The statistics have looked really good in the growth, and now they're able to package this Kangen water organic rice and be delivered. So we all get care packages at the office at the event, and that was really nice. It's nice to see that Enagic is really moving through a glowing expansion line of products that just allow the distributors to have some fun stuff to play with. So, obviously it's the water technology and the Kangen Ukon, which we can really build a massive business with. But as you probably noticed, they also have soaps at the office now. They have the rice. They've got the tea, Ukon tea. Who knows what will come next. That was really nice to have. So investigate in your local office. Maybe you want to trade in one of your Ukon orders for a combination soap, Ukon tea, and some rice. Kind of switch it up and keep things kind of new and fresh in the home. So I really appreciated that, and seeing maybe this is a huge potential of letting other farmers or agricultural applications on a global level see the benefits of using this technology in a larger setting. But it also allows us to leverage that and help people that are on smaller agricultural applications or even commercial applications of growing flowers, sprouting businesses, organic gardens in cities and so forth, that there's a viable option of using this technology to really support that. So that was cool. I want to give a big shout out to all the leaders that really made it possible. Sabine and Roger were there. Sabine did an awesome job being an MC. Wade was there, Antonina. There was a lot of great effort on behalf of the leaders of the Canadian marketplace, and it was all in all a terrific success. I remember 2 years ago going to the 8-year anniversary party, which felt great. 10 years definitely felt better, and it was more of an inspiring, uplifted event. And I can't wait for probably a couple more years down the road, we'll do another big one. So a lot can change in 2 years from where Enagic was to where it is today. And one of the things I want to share in particular was bumping in and talking to some leaders I hadn't seen for a while and kind of catching up on what they were doing. And as you know, sometimes life comes along and you're headed working in your business, and all of a sudden you take a big detour. And that detour can last days, weeks, months, years in some cases, because life pulls you with its stuff and your attention gets lost. But what's really key is watching when people come through that process and they realize, hey, I got to head back to the Enagic business. And so I spoke to a friend, Rich Dietz, who's got a great business here in Canada and also in Washington and also in the Baja, re-engaging in the business. He's on a little tour up in Kelowna. His team might actually be on here. So it was so great to see you, Rich, and meet the team and just see you guys working really hard. And it was inspiring to me to see that re-engagement and also just knowing that we have such a good thing. And I think once you progress in this business, when you start to see what 6A2, 6A-2, and 6A-3 to get there is really to set yourself up in a financial situation that most North Americans are really looking for. And to keep the eyes on the prize is really important because this is a long-term business model. 10 years in Canada, one day we'll say 20 years in Canada. So the people that will come into the business, the people that will stay in the business, that will grow their business in the next 10 years will really be part of the Enagic growth and be able to set something up long-term, almost like a legacy for themselves and their families and will that further on. So great to see so many different people. The Iranian group launched in Canada through Amir. Seeing how one person can actually influence an entire opportunity in one region of the world. Fantastic. So if you've got someone who you think is that person, connect them into your leaders because all it takes is one person with the right connections and you can open an entire country. So that was really inspiring to see. And just more and more of like the dinner, the entertainment. I want to remind everybody it's very Japanese style, which is so adorable at times and comical. And it's one of the reasons I love this company is because it just has its own style. It's not flashy. It's Enagic. And so finding so much humor in it and really looking at all the highlights, I enjoyed it. So just so you know, the Japanese way of doing business is the distributors and the business owners and the staff form the entertainment. So in future, when one of these big parties is happening, it's time to get your entertainment book out and just think about who you know in our business that could stand in as entertainment. So we had a lot of people from a lot of different things, and I think we can do better and just really inspire some of the talented people that we have in our businesses in the Prosperity and Health Alliance to come forward. So that would be a really fun thing to see in the future. Siha, you had a huge team, as you know, representing there. All having a great time. We miss not having you, but we also realize you're probably the hardest working man in Enagic most of the year. So, I'm going to wrap up the review on that. I want to just say couple more things before I pass it over to you to hear, what your mission's been out in the world. The power of events, all the events. Whether it's a business-focused event or more of a community, I invited a couple 2 and 3As that came out to the event. They were inspired to see the larger vision, the larger community. So you never know what's going to fit somebody where it hits them right in the heart and they get emotionally connected to the project. So the power of events, we go from event to event to event, and we just got to really remember how important and valuable that is. And something that was really talked about and represented and, really empowered to the group was to focus on the mission rather than the commission. Often we can get distracted and focus on how many points we're going to make or, oh, this is in my downline, I'm not making enough points, so I'm only going to put in a limited amount. That kind of mentality around focusing on the commission rather than focusing on the mission and really being sincere of like helping people. Because you never know what doing that will bring down the road, but I can guarantee you'll help a lot more people focusing on mission rather than the commission. And you never know when somebody in your downline pops up with a Siha or, pops up with a Roger and Sabine. That if you focus on helping people and really listening to what people are looking for and put them first, the commissions will flow. And they can take you around the world with this project, which has been my experience of working and really with amazing people that it was because the mission grabbed them, and it has nothing to do with the commission I'm making off them, but they are growing international businesses. So that really left me feeling like focused and centered in what this project's all about. Focus on the mission, everybody, and the commissions will flow as a result. So that's kind of a little review of the Enagic 10-year anniversary celebration in Canada. I'm going to pass it over to you, Siha, so that you can let the team know what's been happening in your world since January, all out massive action, and what that activity looks like in your daily method of operations and so forth. So over to you for the update.
Awesome. Thank you, Krill. You know what? Just you telling me about it, I so wish I was there. You know how I love to party. You know how I love to hug and high five everybody and just congratulate on people's successes. Nothing turns me on more than seeing the Nagic family succeed. It's that energy that I just thrive off of, and I love being a part of. Fortunately or unfortunately, I couldn't be there because I practice what I preach. My calendar is full 6 months in advance. I mean that, and you can look at my calendar and you'll see it. So by the time Enagic, got the word out there, I'm booked. January through March, the end of March is one of my most favorite times in the world to work my tail off. It's the beginning of the year. It's a whole new year. Everybody's energized that it is a new year. They want a fresh start. They want a fresh body. They want fresh finances. I want to be a part of that energy, and I want to help carry that baton or pass it on to the next teammates. And so that's what I did. Start off our year. The year planning, all-out massive action, like Eric Worre teaches us. The event starts even before you actually launch it. So we started way back in October, November, December to launch for our all-out massive action to go into January 2017. So my teammates and our leaders, we've already booked our schedule, my speaking tour, 6 days, 6 days in 6 cities starting, and then it fell in where Enagic was having their party. But with that said, guys, the all-out massive action is so important for our business. I can't express how important it is for all of us to get on that bandwagon, for all of us to come together, leaders and teammates, and say, okay, let's plan this out for the next 90 days. Let's put our heads down and not come up for air until the end of the 90 days. If you do that, and you do that with your team, I guarantee you, you're like Quill said, you follow the mission. That's our mission. If you follow the mission and the passion, you follow the dream, the commission will follow, the money will follow, and that's exactly what I did. In traveling in the last few weeks, I shared with our teams, the funnest part in the position that I have is inspiring and helping to keep our teams inspired. At the same time, they're inspiring me to be better and do better. And so what we've done in our 90-day all-out massive action was we had a game plan, and our game plan was, okay, I was going to come into town to these cities, and I'm going to be continue it. And the first night we did was we organized the presentation, the True Health presentation, as I'd like to call it, and I did the presentation promoting all 3 products of Enagic. And like Krill said, there's a lot more, but right now my PowerPoint and my focus is on the 3 products with the Enagic machine, the Ukon, and the Anespa. And that's what my presentation is about. So when new people came in, they got to see that presentation. Distributors from the past that haven't seen my presentation was able to see the True Health, and then they wanted to be a part of it, or they wanted to get incorporate their business with the 3 products. And we had people who wanted to sign on right there and then that were already Enagic distributors, but they just didn't know about the other 2 products or wasn't familiar with how to structure it in their business to help their business grow faster and further, and to help it grow, to teach it to other people, to duplicate. So we did that on the first day that I would come into a city. The second day, what I ended up doing with our leaders is the leaders booked me. They booked appointments for me from 9 a.m. until my speaking time, all day long, pretty much on the hour, every hour. And as a leader, I came in and I spoke with new teammates as well as the leaders that are in the area, and I just gave them my personal time, 1 hour for everybody, and to go over their game plan, to go over their dreams, to go over their wishes, to go over their future. The only way that we're all going to get to where we want to be is by helping each other, and the only way that I can help you and the only way that I can help my leaders is to know which direction you're going. And sometimes you're focused on that. Sometimes you have a game plan, and sometimes you're not maybe as focused, and you need help with the game plan. And that's what I'm there to help do. So that worked out really efficient, really effectively. I didn't have to go anywhere. All the teammates came to me, and we got to meet a lot more teammates and get them on the right path. So that's what we did on this tour here, and and I'm going to be continuing it all around the world. And I invite you guys to connect with your leaders, connect with me if you don't have a game plan on how to build your business for 2017, because it all comes to fruition when you write it down. It all comes to fruition when you book it in your calendar. You're committed, and they're committed, and you're holding each other accountable. Accountability is so important in this industry. I don't have a boss, and you don't have a boss. Our boss is our calendar. Our success is determined by what we do, our daily rituals. What are you doing daily? For myself, I'm just like you. I have so many things going on. I have family, I have friends, I have hobbies, I have, business. For me, I have it on my cell phone. I have a list that's called my daily, and I've shared that with some of my teammates. This is what I do from the time that I wake up till the time I go to bed. This is my ritual. If you speak with Wade, who's Mr. World-class bodybuilder, when he was doing it professionally, he had a ritual that he did every day. He knew when he woke up, he knew what to eat, he knew when to work out, he knew what supplements to take, he knew what weight to hit. He knew. Well, this is our business, and we want to become world-class, and in order to do that, we have to have our daily rituals. So I have a daily ritual of what I do, and it just reminds me of things that needs to be done in that day, because I get off on a tangent, and if I don't write it down, and it's the same thing, I don't change it. That's my daily list of things to do, and then I have my to-done list, and those are the things I have to do for business, things I have to do for family, things I have to do for the house, things I have to do for the kids. That's a different list, okay? And I combine the two, and I proceed forward, and moving forward, I progress, and I try to help the teams progress in their business, because so many people say, oh, I'm so busy, you're busy, but then we look at the results of their business. What are you busy doing? Are you busy being productive? Are you busy just being busy? Are you busy being too busy in personal development? Because there's a limit in what you can and should do daily. So being busy is one thing, but being productive is another. And I try to teach that and share that and practice that myself. Am I being busy, or am I being productive? And I want to progress forward. Staying focused, like Creel said, sometimes we get off on a tangent in life, and life takes us down a different street. He mentioned Rich Dietz, and Rich and Rochelle are some dear friends of mine. They have one of my biggest organizations in my leg. They help me, get to the 2-3 level. But some life things are happening. But Rich shares with everybody that, just like you and I, we have things that occur in our life, and we sometimes have to exit Enagic for whatever reason, or back off, but then we can always hop back in. Mm-hmm. And he realizes and he recognizes, the time that he didn't spend focused on the Enagic business, which is, our business, the more income that he lost, and the more potential of building, the business the way that it was supposed to go. So staying focused is really key, and the only way that I believe you can stay focused is doing what you're passionate about, trying to get to your dream, and follow that. That's staying focused. Staying plugged in. Too many of our teammates are not staying plugged in, whether it's with our webinars, or Danny D. McCall's webinars, or the events. It's so important. I can list off a whole bunch of leaders that I know for a fact that they got to where they got, including myself, because we went to an event and something inspired us. And I really encourage that in our team. I try to be there at all the events myself with our teams, and you'll be surprised what teammates get back, and how it's launched their business. I have examples from the Esprit trainings that Don Prosser does. Teammates that came out of their shell, or had their breakthrough moment, or the shift, whatever you want to call it, that we've learned in personal development. Don Prosser's Esprit training is absolutely excellent, and I've known so many leaders that they went there and they got the information and they moved forward with their business. The Super Saturday events, so many people get golden nuggets or have that shift. Eric Worre's training, the parties, the Magic parties, like Creel said, you go with your party hat on, you go be in the moment, be in the energy. Sometimes it's not all about, business, money, 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 but it's about, energy and the energy that you want to be around. So stay plugged in the best as you can. Are you communicating with your teams? Are you communicating via email? Are you texting them? Are you following up with them? Who should you follow up with? Personally, I follow up with the people who are staying in touch with me, who are Facebook messaging me or Skyping me, or those are they're on my radar, and they're on my radar. That means they need my help, they want my help, as Wade has shared, and so many of us have heard the statement. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Well, that's who we are. You're happy to teach this, and we have so much information, but we're not just going to be just giving out so much of our information because it's going to go in one ear and out the next. So we really wait for you guys, the distributors, at no matter what level you are, to come to us and say, this is what I need help with. Today, I had a personal teammate who needed help with three-way calls. She has an amazing network of people, and but she didn't know how to reach out to them. So in the last 2 weeks, what we've done is I had to put together a list and confirm appointments for three-way calls. So from 9 o'clock until until having to come onto this webinar, every hour on the hour, that's what I did. I spoke with her contacts on three ways, and some lasted 30 minutes, some lasted 45 minutes, one lasted 6 minutes, okay? And from all of them, I believe that we connected with these people and they want to move forward. Some want to get machines. Great. Now it's up to her to follow up on it. So stay connected, stay plugged in with the events, with your leaders, and with your teams. Help them out in the best way that you can. Fill your calendar. Like I started when I first started sharing this with you guys this evening, was your calendar is your boss. And I can look at your calendar or my calendar, which is, in my opinion, our rituals. If it's not full with appointments, if it's not full with water share, if it's not full with trainings, if it's not full with events, you're not progressing. You are not progressing, and your team is not progressing. I'm going to call it out the way that that I see it. And so have your calendars full. Introduce your prospects to your leaders and your teammates. That goes back to staying plugged in, and with the three-way calls. Very important in our business, for leaders, for yourself. It allows the new prospects to hear it from a third party. It allows the new prospects to be able to reach out to a different leader other than yourself, Creel or Wade or myself or Sabina, whomever. Anybody on your team should be able to not only go to you, but to be able to go to your mentors, to be able to go to your uplines, and that's what we're here for. So I'd like to share that with you guys. Challenge yourself to be. What do I have here? Challenge yourself to be better. Challenge yourself to be better than you were yesterday, and you are only if you want to attract a Creel type of a leader, or a Wade or Siha, whoever leader that you want to attract, you have to become that leader. I mean, we hear it all the time, but you have to train, you have to inspire, you have to do the things that you don't want to do. I'll share with you an example. I'm asked by a lot of my teammates and cross lines and other Magic distributors from all over the country, sometimes go help their teammates to install a machine. And I'm busy like you. I'm busy, and sometimes installing machines is not my most favorite things to do, but I'll do it. And my emotions, my energy tells me that, you know what, I really don't want to do this, but then I have to snap out of it and say, look, I want to be the leader that I'm going to attract. And representing a Magic, I want those types of people in a Magic, people that are going to go on and above, outside of their team to help out. So that snaps me out of, I don't want to do this, to let's go do this. And we end up going to do that, and then literally we attract those leaders. That example came true when I needed help on installing a machine in California, I'm not down there. But I called up Rich Dietz, and our clients was 10 minutes away, and Rich went out there and he gladly, happily set that up. So I thank him for that. But that reminds me that why I do what I do all those times, maybe this is the karma or this is the universe paying me back. So I invite you to be the leader that you want to be, that you want to attract, and that will come true. If you want, a paycheck every day, I said it then, I'll say it now, a demo day eventually gets you a check a day, and teach your teammates how to do demos. If you're not doing demos and your teammates aren't doing demos, how is the word getting out there? How are you sharing this information? To me, I found this the most effective way. I look at, Danny DiMicali. I look at, some of the top leaders, Tamia Cologne. We're all still doing presentations. We're all still doing educations, and now we're sharing that with our team. We're duplicating that. So that's being the leader that you want to become. I have so much more to tell you guys about the ride to success. And in 2017, if you really want this to be your year and the year of your team, then I would suggest and recommend that you come together and you make a plan, and you put that plan on the calendar, and you take action and go forward with that. So I want to bring Creel back in, because I said what I needed to say for what our team's been doing so far this year. We're going to continue it for the next 90 days. I invite you to get on this bandwagon. I invite you to lock arms with us as well and inspire us. Tell us your success stories. We'll tell you our success stories, and tell us some of the failures so that we don't fail as well. So with that, Creel,
yeah, thank you. Yeah, Siha, lots of gold nuggets in there. I wanted to highlight just a couple of them. I think the three-way phone call that you talk about is so key, and it's about reaching up when you feel down and reaching down when you're inspired. So yes. If you need some support, reach up to your upline. If you're feeling inspired, make sure you're reaching to your downlines and sharing that kind of energy. Really encouraging people to do three-way phone calls. What I've generally found is people can get good at prospecting and getting people in their funnels, but maybe the challenge then is the closing side, or moving them to those final decision-making moments, which comes with practice and sales experience. Mm-hmm. So really effective to get those people that are in that zone, connect them with an upline leader, see how they do it, take it as a training system, a call. If you're not doing three-way phone calls, you're missing a really secret bullet in your business. And if you can show people how to do it, the reality is then they'll start to do it themselves, which will be a key advantage for them moving forward. And I love how you said, you spent the day doing three-way phone calls, which means there's a ton of activity happening in those downlines. So I just wanted to really highlight that. And also, the idea, focus on the mission and the commission will follow. If you're mission driven and telling people about what your passion is, what your inspiration is, what your interest is, asking questions, telling stories based around those core things for yourself, you're looking for people that are going to resonate with that or who are going to step forward, and then that's who you focus on working and sharing the story and going deeper into. So great stuff, Siha.
I have to share this fact real quick on the same topic of three-way calls. One of my fastest growing team leaders, and she learned this from another network marketing company that she was with, and now we practice it, and we've been practicing it, but not to the extent that that we've taken it. And that is, every time she gets a sign up with someone that is a business builder, she automatically texts me and says, "See, are you available for a three-way call? This person is a business builder," and I get introduced right away. That is so key. You need to please get that out to your teammates to say, look, if you've got a business builder on the line, and they've already bought, okay, they've already bought, they're in, but just having that connection with somebody else, her team, it's the fastest growing organization that I have, and I truly believe it because they're reaching out, and so she's able, because she's new and energic, she's able to move on and get the next one, and I'm able to take and groom this one.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's a great idea.
She learned it, and she learned it, taught it to me, and I said that's a great idea. From the last company that she was at, her mentor was a multi-million-dollar networker, and it still is, and that's is what they do in their organization, is the three-way calls. And then for the invites of what do you call it? When we set up for the presentations, our teammates literally call the day before or 2 days before to remind people that I'm coming into town. That we talked about the invite and getting people the demos and stuff. That's so key. You can't just sit back. You got to take action if you want people to show up. If you want people to play the game. You have to encourage, inspire, show them what to do. So that's, again, part of the three-way call. It's not a three-way call, but it's part of calling. Calling is so important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great stuff. So as we move towards Q&A, I just wanted to give a shout-out to some of the people that are on the line here. I see Danny McDonald. So great to see you on Friday night. I'm glad you were out. Doris, hello. Carla, Maureen, Jeff, Mike, Robin, Roger, Rosa, Trish. Oh, there's a whole bunch of people on there. So great to have you guys on board. Now is your opportunity to put in any comments or Q&As that you might have into the box. Real simple to do. Me and Siha will answer any questions. While some questions are getting put in there, I just want to reflect on the gold nugget that Siha gave there, which I think is fantastic. Because I think back and I'm like, if I had told everybody for the last 6 years, when you sign up a business builder, like paperwork done, machines getting installed, and we do a three-way call immediately just to do a welcome in or an introduction, I wonder, that would have been a game changer. No doubt my business would be stronger and more connected as a result of that one activity, because that would have duplicated throughout the ranks. So I think that gold nugget, we should all take that and use it, because it's a simple thing to do, because everything's green lights at that point. You've got someone who bought a machine, they're excited, they expressed business, great. Let's talk to somebody who's going to be a great 10, 15-minute call, welcoming them, encouraging them, congratulations, anything I can do for you, to really help that new person feel like, oh, this is cool, I'm connected in here. Invite them to the PH Alliance, invite them to the webinar, invite them, do all those things so that person now has action from a leader rather than hearing it from their sponsor who's the new person. That is so amazing. A great idea. I'm going to tell everybody on my team that we got to start doing that.
No, it's like you said, because our teammates sometimes forget about Prosperity and Health Alliance, this amazing system that's created here for them. And so when that introduction is and they reach out to me and I immediately have their information, text them, here's where to start, here's what we talked about, the Prosperity and Health Alliance, here's what you do, here's the meeting, here's where you sign up, and they're in the system. They're in the system, and they're starting fresh, and that's all that they know, and we've built it up. We've edified the program and the system so much, they can't wait to start. They can't wait to get these emails. They can't wait. They're at that energy, right? And they're talking to you who's been with the magic, and they're saying, and we're telling them, look, we're going to cut through the fat, and this is what you need to do. So like you said, we can guide that person, and our teammates can move on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And it's awesome.
Perfect. So if there's any questions, pop it in. I just want to make some announcements, and if we don't get any questions, we'll just wrap it up early. If you're in the Vancouver area, we're having Tuesday night presentation at Alan's, 7 o'clock. Oviv is going to be presenting tomorrow. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be presenting. It'll be the last one of the month. We will be back here next Monday, the 30th, to do the show, and then we'll take a week off for the Danny D. McCauley primetime show. So unless there's any questions, Siha, do you have any final remarks or closing statement?
Yes, go out there and just have a blast. It's a new you, it's a new year, and it's a new team that we're building. So just keep everything new and fresh and follow your dreams and passion, guys. It's here. It's all for you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I want to thank you guys all for being on the show. So great to see so many of you on Friday night. That was such a great time. One of the things I really love about this business is the relationships and the connections. I think it's one of the key things actually in network marketing. And in order for people to stick around and really see that, you got to do the three-way calls. You got to introduce them to the groups. You got to make sure that person has emotional connections with more than just one person. If you isolate the new person, man, it's very hard for them to like really get, to get that, to stay through the staying power. So I look forward to the next time we all get together to celebrate. I think there's an event this weekend in Washington. Jim Gilland is hosting something. You can check on Facebook. So, if you're in the area or you want to bring someone down, there you go. And on that note, we want to thank you so much. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you next Monday night.
Thank you. Roger, I see your question real quick. A bunch of teams did not get the emails. Was there a reset because even my other email didn't get a continuation? You know what? I'll pass that on to Kim and Wade, and they'll help us out with that. So I appreciate all the feedback. Any feedback we can get of our system working, not working, how we can better it, please. And that's excellent. So I got that. Uh-oh, some more questions just popped up.
Okay, good. So there's Jeff. Is it possible to see Siha's PowerPoint?
Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to send it out. So text me, Facebook me, Jeff. Facebook message me your email, and I'll be more than happy to send it and share it with you. Absolutely.
Great. And then question from Michael. How do you find business builders? Do you look for groups on Facebook? Great question. I suggest you figure out what you're passionate about, what your core interests are, what you like to do, and go do those things in social settings or online and meet people with similar interests and start talking about it. So yes, I have had distributors join my organization that my distributors found them on Facebook groups talking about water or healthcare or specific areas or certain disease or area interest. So you can do that. It's really about forming relationships first and then introducing those ideas. And then in general, networking out in the world, meeting people and just telling stories, asking questions, figuring out where people are at. So that's how I find prospects. Business builders are going to be right in there with prospects. It's the same thing. Siha, what would you suggest there?
Yeah, how do you find business builders? Do you look at groups on Facebook? Personally, I don't look for groups on Facebook because I don't really spend that much time on Facebook. I go on, I do what I need to do, let people see the lifestyle, the Kangen lifestyle that I've worked so hard to get and share with the world. So I use Facebook for that, but Facebook and social media is a great avenue of finding business builders. I know of some teams in Enagic, literally they found their business and their 6 A's already in less than a year's time. Because it was through Facebook. So I know that it works, but I haven't really used that application myself. I want to learn more this year, and I'm going to apply that. But how do I find business builders? I go out there and I ask for it. Like Krill said, all prospects are good prospects. All clients are good clients. And what I mean by that is, whether they want the product or not want the product, if they want the product, great, we deliver that. Then we ask them, who do you know that can utilize our services or is looking for an opportunity to augment their life? That to me is asking for, that's how I find it. And if they don't want the product, I say, thank you very much, and I still ask them the same question: who do you know that has some maybe health issues, health challenges that I can help with their product, or they're looking for an opportunity, and I'll squeeze in there. In 2008 there was a recession. I lost it all financially and physically, mentally almost, and Enagic was able to save me, and I'm able to make a 6-figure income with Enagic, and now I share that with other people, whether they are chiropractors, nutritionists, restaurant owners, medicinal marijuana grow-ups, the single mom. It doesn't matter. Who needs an opportunity? Who wants cash flow? Can I help them bring in $500 consistent cash flow per month? Would that help them out? Or $1,500 or $8,000? Whatever their needs are, I believe I can help. Can you refer them to me? So that's how I find business builders. I ask for it, and that's how I find it.
Awesome. That's pretty simple. Just keep asking and telling stories, asking questions, and going deeper. I think there's always another question to ask when we're in conversation with somebody, and you just need to keep going below the surface level to really find out what people are really emotionally looking for, or open the opportunity for them to give a referral or send you in a new direction. So great stuff. If there's any more questions, we'll take them now. And otherwise, let's call it an evening.
Great.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Siha, for being on board. Good luck.
Thank you, thanks for covering.
All Out Massive Action. We'll be back next week. Have a great evening, everybody. Good night.
Happy New Year, everybody.